Hello, everyone, and welcome to BodyBags. I'll be your reviewer for today. I'm Lonnie from Horror. I keep always doing that. I keep going back almost saying the name of my old horror channel. No, my new channel is Terror and Tats. So, anyway, this is Lonnie from Terror and Tats. It's after 4 o'clock in the morning, and yeah, my bedtime's coming up pretty soon, but I wanted to go ahead and get my review done. Now, as you already know, this week we're doing a label week, and we're doing Anchor Bay. So this week I decided I'm going to do a 2004 German horror zombie comedy, and the one that I picked is Night of the Living Dorks. Okay, come to think about it, how many German zombie horror comedies are there? Gotta look into that. Anyway, so like I said, this movie is from 2004, and it's definitely the title alone. If you see the trailer lets you know this movie is flat out goofy. It's fun, a little bit on the gory side, not too much. I mean, if you're going into this, if you're kind of going into this expecting, like George Romero or Sam Raimi or Peter Jackson levels of gore, you're going to be disappointed. It's not really that graphic. You do get a little bit of some schmutz here and there, but not too much. But anyway, so on the cover, we're introduced to our four main characters, who I'll get to in just a minute. Now, at the beginning of the movie, we see a family in Haiti. And this family, they're sitting around their table, and, they're praying because they're getting ready to eat. And they hear, footsteps coming up to the door, and the front door of their house bursts in. And a zombie comes in, but this is like the, zombie bite, Haiti, voodoo, things like this. And the zombie's getting ready to attack. And this woman comes in with a flamethrower, and she's like, I forget the exact line, but, something like, not on my watch, motherfucker. And she roasts the zombie and pretty much burns it into, just powder, dust. Now they're getting ready to bury, the remains, but the remains are stolen, and then they change hands for money. They change hands for money again, change hands for money again. And then now we get to, the main part of the story. So we're introduced to our four main characters. We have Philip, we have Conrad, we have Wiener, and we have Rebecca. Okay? Now, our three buds here, now you got Conrad here, or not Conrad, this is Philip. Sorry. Like I told you. So you have Philip here. He is basically, all three of these main characters, you're going to realize, well, actually all four of them in a sense, they're all kind of stereotypes from teen sex comedies or like John Hughes movies or Porky's or American Pie, things like this. So, you have, Philip here. He's basically like the nice guy who is, he's considered something of a loser. He's, not considered like, he's not very athletic or any of that kind of stuff. But, he's kind of like the nice guy, And then, but now you have Rebecca, who is, they used to be, the two of them used to be best friends, but Rebecca is now goth. So she ends up being, so you end up getting that kind of teen comedy, storyline of like, okay, here's the nice guy who's trying to go out with a popular girl named Ushi, and he's trying to hook up with her, but you have Rebecca here, who is okay, she might look, she might dress a little, differently, but the thing is like clearly, like when you see, even when she's dressed up in goth outfits and stuff, she's still super stunning, super hot and gorgeous. And so she's, wanting to hook up with, she's in love with Philip. And so, Philip, but he spends most of his time hanging out with his two buddies. You got Conrad here, who is, he's obviously, you can tell by the glasses, he's the nerd. He's the kid who gets picked on all the time. The smart kid who's, always, like the butt of everybody's jokes. He's the one who gets all the wedgies, all this other kind of stuff gets, as a matter of fact, like, they keep, like they keep hitting him in the face and breaking his glasses. He just takes the broken pair off and he opens up his bag and he's got like dozens of pairs of glasses that he just puts on a new pair and goes about his day. And now you got Wiener, who is, nowadays would definitely be considered the very problematic character in the movie, because Wiener is he's the drug-loving, alcohol-swilling, sexist, just unfiltered, just, always talks dirty, filthy talk and everything else. And like their teacher, like he's trying hard to get the teacher into bed with him. So you kind of got like you can kind of already tell where I'm going with this. You got a lot of these teen movie stereotypes. Well, so anyway, so they're in class and they're talking about different types of religion, and they're talking about Christianity, Buddhism, things like this. Well, Rebecca and her two goth friends, they get up and they talk about the religion of voodoo, and they mention a couple of things about it, like they mention how voodoo dolls work and things like this, and they mention that that they hold up the urn with the ashes of the zombie from the opening scene, and they say, hey, if you take these, if you take these ashes and you do a certain ritual with it, then you can end up bringing the dead back to life. But the one thing that catches Philip's attention is they say that there is a spell that they could do that could make someone fall in love with you. So Philip decides he wants to go to Rebecca and ask her, could you help me out? I want to do this spell to make Ushi fall in love with me. And she, at first she's like, of course, because Rebecca is in love with Philip, she's telling him like, hey, it's like, even if we do the spell, it's not going to really work. It might work for a little bit, but it's going to wear off. He's like, hey, a little bit's better than none. And so she's like, okay, come to the cemetery tonight and we'll get this party started. So he goes to the cemetery, but he ends up bringing Wiener and Conrad with him. So they get to the cemetery and, they're doing their ritual. They're going to do their ritual where they're trying to bring back the dead and all this. And they open up the urn, and when they go to empty out the ashes, the wind picks up and it blows the ashes onto the three guys, Conrad, Philip, and Wiener. And so they figure, they're just, oh, this voodoo is all a bunch of bullshit, it doesn't work and stuff. So they're driving home, and, Wiener is driving in their truck, in his van, actually, it's like a Chevy van. And so he, like, toking up his, bong and everything, but, the smoke goes crazy, blurs their vision, all this other kind of stuff, and they end up, the car goes off the road, goes into a tree, and all three of them are killed. So then, the three of them wake up in the morgue. Things are a little bit strange. Piece by piece, they start to realize that, that they are zombies, that they have died, but they've come back to life, and it's like, oh my God, holy hell, the spell worked. It's like, where they did bring back the dead. We were dead, they brought us back. And so at first they're kind of cool with the idea of being zombies and everything. They're kind of keen on it and everything. But then certain things start to happen. The main thing that ends up happening is that Conrad here we find out that, Conrad keeps a book of all the kids that have bullied him and everything that they've done to him. He's written it all down in detail and everything else. He keeps a journal of all the kids who pick on him and bully him and stuff. Well, so now that they realize that they're zombies and zombies can eat flesh and all this kind of stuff, so now Conrad wants to basically go after all the kids that had picked on him and get his revenge, on them. Because in this one here, the zombies, they're not like the slow-moving Romero types. They're not like the running, like Zack Schneider, Dawn of the Dead type of zombies. They walk, they talk, they can run if they have to, but they're starting to decay. They start to fall apart. Like at one point, Conrad loses his ear, at which point he just takes and staple guns it back on, and like they're realizing like they're decaying and everything else. And so now they're stuck with this real problem, because now they need to stop Conrad from killing all these people, and then they need to get to Rebecca and, get her to find a cure, which will end up, breaking the zombie curse on our three fellas. And so now you're kind of in this race against time and everything. But as things go along, you start getting into the tropes of like teen sex comedies, John Hughes movies type of things. At one point they find out that they have superhuman strength, so they use that to, beat the bullies at a game of rugby. And so now this Ushi, that who's like the popular girl, the girl that Philip wants to get with. Now he's, wanting, he finds out he's got a chance to get with her. But like everything, like you see in teen movies and everything, it's like everything just seems to fall apart. You see like, movies like Superbad or whatever, like just everything just kind of, their whole world just kind of comes crashing down on them and stuff. And so now, and then, as the movie progresses, Philip now realizes that, not only is Rebecca in love with him, but he realizes that he's in love with her. And so they're, you got that romance starting to go. So you get where I'm going with this. But now now it's a race against time because, kind of like Risky Business where, in the movie, like after Tom Cruise's character, Joel has the party and like his parents are coming home and he's got to get the house all completely cleaned up and in order the way it was supposed to be and everything when they left. So he's got to do that. He's got to find, he's got to, get the spell broken so that, they can stop being zombies. They need to find Conrad and stop him from going on his killing spree. And everything. So, it's all that kind of stuff. And it's kind of like, well, how's it all going to pan out? Overall, it's a fun movie. Like I said, if you're going to be going into this hoping for extreme levels of gore, you're not really going to get that. There are some gross moments in it. But like I said, you're not going to have like, just blood and gore spewing all over the place, You get a couple of little bloody moments here and there, but not too much. You do get some decent practical effects in here, which is pretty cool. You do get quite a bit of CGI effects. And I got to be honest with you, the CGI in this is awful. It's terrible. It's god awful. It's very, very, it stands out very badly and it's just very, really cartoony looking and everything. It doesn't blend with the scenes that they're in at all. The movie, like I said, this is a German film. It's a German, zombie horror comedy. So the movie is dubbed. I didn't think about that. No, it doesn't say. Oh, actually it does. Okay. Well, anyway, I was going to say, though, it's like, the version that I watched this in, it was the English dub. And so, now this one here from Anchor Bay, you do have some bonus features on here, and you have widescreen presentation, 185. You have behind the scenes, deleted and extended scenes. You have fun scenes, which kind of like bloopers, things like this. You get theatrical trailer, you get languages, you can watch in English or German, and then you get optional English subtitles. So stupid me, I could have easily have watched this, in German. Probably that's what I should have done, but I didn't think about it. I should have watched this in German with the English subtitles. That's what I should have done. But I watched it with the English dub. The English dub on it is pretty atrocious. So yeah, I imagine if you get this one, that'd probably be my best recommended bet. Would be, go ahead and watch the movie, but watch it in its original German language, but with the English subtitles. I think that would be a whole lot better. But overall, this movie, it's fun. You got to be into goofy, funny zombie comedies, and if you're into that, you're going to enjoy this. But, if you're not into these silly, kind of spoofy, campy, silly kind of zomcoms and things like that, then this movie's not going to do it for you. It's 92 minutes. It runs at a pretty quick pace. So time-wise, it's pretty good. It doesn't drag. It doesn't overstay its welcome or anything like that. It's a lot of fun, and I do recommend the movie. I do personally I like zombie comedies. I like a lot of the the good ones. I like I love Shaun of the Dead. I love Cognies versus Zombies, Return of the Living Dead. I love a lot of the zombie movies that have humor in them and stuff like that. And hell, if you guys remember here a while back, I reviewed iZombie for this channel, and iZombie is a show I get so much fun out of watching. That show's so much fun. But anyway, yeah, if you're into zomcoms and you don't mind the foreign language, I would definitely say yeah, give this movie a chance. It's fun. Also too, if you're into John Hughes comedies, American Pie, things like that, you're gonna get a good laugh out of this. And that's really about all I can say about it. Now, as far as Anchor Bay goes, I'm actually pretty impressed with this edition. It is a nicer edition. Just for DVD, the picture and sound quality on this is actually really good. It's just like I said, just, you do get, it definitely has kind of a high definition quality to the picture quality. But just, like I said, just the CGI scenes are they stand out. They look horrid, and I don't really, it's just, the CGI just kind of kills it, But the picture quality is good. The sound quality is really good. This is when you still were able to get some features on on a DVD from Anchor Bay, so there's that. But overall, I would say, yeah, I wouldn't pay like $30 for this, but I mean, if you come across it for a good cheap price and you like zombie comedies, I would say go ahead and get this one added to your collection. It's fun. It's a good time. It's definitely a good fun 90 minutes spent. Well, 92 minutes, but I would say, yeah, go ahead and give Night of the Living Dorks a chance. It's pretty good entertainment. So I think that's about all I can say about it. If I say anything more, though, I'm going to kind of spoil the movie. I don't want to tell you how it ends or anything like that. So I think I've said more than enough. So if anybody took the time to watch this video, I thank you for doing it. I appreciate you for doing it. I also hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave it a like. If you haven't already, go and subscribe to the BodyBags channel. We have a different reviewer, one for every day of the week. I'm the Saturday reviewer. We have a great bunch of guys on the channel. Everybody's doing really good stuff. Lots of fun, more reviews coming in, and we got fun theme weeks ahead. Some great just random weeks and everything else, and yeah. So everybody, please come back and tiny little bit of shameless self promotion. Jesus Christ, it's bedtime. I think you guys can tell it's bedtime. Shameless self promotion. If you do get a chance, go ahead and check out my channel, Tara and Tats. And if you like horror movies and you like tattoos and things like that, you might be interested in that channel. So hopefully take a look at that as well. So that's it. I'm gonna go to bed because apparently I can't talk anymore. I'm losing brain cells by the minute. So that's it, everybody. Take care. Have a good night, and I'll see you later.